This one is unbelievable. Because the NYDA is supposed to be helping young people. Unemployed graduates, disabled youth, rural youth, people who are literally begging for one chance. But what was revealed in Parliament is unbelievable. The leadership of the NYDA is allegedly using the same money for themselves. Remember, they already earn millions in salaries, and then on top of that, they are accused of stealing again from the funds meant for disabled and disadvantaged South African youth. I feel like crying. Why are people so heartless like this? Why? You have to watch this. Please smash the like button. Remember, Ramaphosa appointed them. So maybe that is why. Let's watch.
So a story goes out that says the board chairperson has spent 1 million on a trip to America or whatever. I'm making an example. And then you then say, as the entity, that this information was not public information, that the board chairperson has spent 1 million or whatever. And then you take out an RFQ to find out how did it become public information that the board chairperson has spent 1 million on a trip in America? Is that what the RFQ is saying, the one that is out there?
What did you then fly economy? Did you fly business class?
I flew business class myself and the deputy chair based on the travel policy of the NYDA.
Okay, no, you don't need to justify yourself. You're just giving a complete answer. Okay, one last one.
We were going to go to corporate services.
Thank you, Chairperson. So the annual package for Chairperson is 1.2 million. And then for Deputy Chair, it's 1,023,388.
Chair, can I request the CFO a response so that I'm not the one who's responding to issues? Maybe through your CO, I'm sorry. CO, then CFO.
Thank you very much, Chair. The process is run by the legal services. There is a panel that's appointed. The legal services division within corporate services does the process internally.
So what is the process?
May I ask the executive director of corporate services who looks after legal services to outline? Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. So there are rates that we have with the services provider, but they still follow the same SCM process. So what we'll do, we'll then send an RFQ to SCM using the same panel. They need to quote us before they can be allocated.
Thank you. Did you send an RFQ for the law firm that is representing the board chair?
I'm not too sure.
But they said you are the one who runs this thing is legal. So who must respond to me? Because the chair said I must give the question to the CFO. The CFO says this thing is being run by legal. And now you are saying you must release an RFQ as legal. And I'm asking you a very simple and straightforward question. Was an RFQ released for the law firm that is representing the board chair in their case against Sunday Times? So who must respond to me now, because you are giving it to someone else?
Chairperson, I'm not privy to this information.
So who must respond?
Thank you, Chair. Currently, the person that is responsible for that is the legal manager. She's not available at the moment. We can request that she
No. You're not going to run away from this question. I'm not asking about an individual. I'm asking about a process.
Yes.
Now, let me take you through this. I'm asking about a process. You sent me to the CFO. CFO sends me to legal. Legal says the first thing you do is to issue out an RFQ. Now I'm asking, was an RFQ issued for the law firm that is representing the board chairperson? It's got nothing to do with who is absent and who is not here. It's either an RFQ was issued or it was not issued.
We will not be privy to that information because we don't deal with the SCM process of appointing from the legal panel. That is why I was saying we can request it to be written.
Which role do you perform in the entity?
I'm a company secretary.
As the company secretary, are you aware of any RFQ that was taken out
I'm not
for the law
aware.
firm? You are not aware?
Yes.
Thank you, company secretary. Legal, are you aware of an RFQ that was released for the law firm that is representing the chair?
No, I'm not.
You are not aware. Thank you. CFO, are you aware?
What on earth did we just watch? This is a youth development agency, not a Stockvel, not a private WhatsApp group, not somebody's personal legal wallet. Parliament asks who issued the RFQ. And suddenly the answer travels from CFO to legal to company secretary. This is money that disabled youth need, and the people sitting at the top cannot even give Parliament a clean answer on the law firm process. Now watch how it gets worse, because Parliament then asks the obvious question. If there was no proper process, what is that called? Dlamini. Play it.
And that's all we wanted from you. I think, Chair, then we'll try and write to the entity to find out if indeed the processes were followed in the appointment of the law firm that is representing the chair against Sunday Times. Something that is very problematic in our view, considering media freedom and what we want our entities to be doing. My last question is to the Minister. Last time you said to us that on the issue of ARC, you have handed over the investigation to Treasury and you are waiting. How far is that process? Because we're sitting with this crisis here because there's no clarity on what must happen with the Audit and Risk Committee.
No, thank you very much. We received the report from the National Treasury investigating team. I think today's Friday, it's Thursday. Today's Friday. It's Thursday. I think on Tuesday. So I've not had time to read and to apply my mind on it. But otherwise, it's something that is already before ourselves. But also maybe just to take the opportunity, Chair, Honorable Lunzi, it's very rare that I will agree with him. But I want to agree with him on the issue of the executive chair and executive deputy chair. It is a problem, Chair. In fact, we're talking about it even in the morning. And I think the department told us that when they brought the bill, the amendment bill, it actually was suggesting a non-executive chair and non-executive deputy chair, because it is problematic. What we're experiencing here, I've never experienced it, because with other entities, big for that matter, you have the chairperson who's non-executive. Sometimes you don't even know the deputy chairperson, because you interact with the chairperson and they go home, they do their work, etc., etc. It is a problem, and as a matter of fact, if the portfolio committee was to agree, would bring the amendment bill tomorrow.
No, you please bring it, Minister.
For the chairperson, for the so that they finish their term, we'll say. They finish their term as executives, but going forward, we have non-executives. It is a problem, I must say. It will remain a problem.
I'm glad we agree on something, Minister.
At least.
No, my last point, and then I think I'll submit my other questions in writing, Chair, is when do you think we'll finalize I know you can't give us an exact date, Minister, but surely you will have a timetable roughly. When do you think we'll finalize this thing of Audit and Risk Committee? Because one of the biggest problems, I mean, a lot of the questions that were asked by members of Parliament here were around what is the process if there is corruption, if there is fraud. And then if you read, there is actually an NYDA policy on that. I don't know why no one on the other side mentioned it, whether it's staff, whether it's board members, because there is an NYDA policy that speaks to that. And at the center of that policy is the Audit and Risk Committee. So if we've got this lull on Audit and Risk Committee, then we're never going to be these problems are going to be persistent. So just my parting shot, when do you think we'll be able to finalize this process? I know Treasury only spoke to you on Tuesday. Maybe you'll give yourself a week or two, and then you must still consult. Just a rough estimate. It doesn't have to be a set date.
No, thank you very much. I wish I'd read the report for me to know whether they are saying let's go on with the process that already has unfolded, or we redo the process. Because if that is the case, it means advertising, etc., etc. That would therefore inform us about the timelines. But I think one definitely would want to finalize this matter as quickly as possible, whether it means redoing the process or starting the process afresh. If it has to be restarting the process, then of course you want to do it within, say, 2 weeks or so, if that is what the National Treasury report is advising us to do. Thank you very much.
You've recently taken, I think it was in court yesterday, you've taken a report, a gagging harassment order. What attorneys are you using? I believe it's in your personal capacity. What attorneys are you using? Can you answer that question?
Yes, Chair. The matter that is in court, it's based on the fact that, yes, we do acknowledge that there's freedom of journalism. It must happen.
No, that's not the question I'm asking. I'm asking you which legal firm are you using?
I'm not quite sure of the name. I don't have the names. Maybe CEO, you can assist. Or
But is it in your personal capacity, this matter?
No, it's not in my personal capacity, Honourable Member, through you, Chair.
Sorry, can I stop the time? Okay. You were in court yesterday. So, okay, I'm saying the matter was in court yesterday. You've submitted a sworn statement. I have it. I wish to remind you of what you've sworn to in court. I can read it back to you if you want me. So let me remind you for the last time. Please be honest with Parliament. Can you do that? Can you answer Honourable Beasley's question honestly? Otherwise, I'm going to tell you the paragraph in which you say you're raising this in your personal capacity. Okay? Please, Chair, please. Thank you.
The name of the attorneys, I think it's Pegati, but it starts with PH, along those lines. Yes.
Yeah, just coming back to what the chair said and what you've said, you signed an affidavit that you're saying you're taking this matter in your personal capacity. I've got the legal papers in front of me. I can read it back to you. It says you're taking this matter in your personal capacity. Now we're hearing that it's a NYDA matter. So I'm clearly confused, and I'm sure the legal people and the people that you've signed this affidavit to are confused too, because you said it is in your personal capacity, not under as chairperson of the NYDA. So if you can just clarify, whose actual capacity is this under?
Thank you for that question. Yes, Chair, it is in my personal capacity, and the matter would have been relating to my responsibility as the chair of the NYDA.
But clearly that should have been said in the papers that you're doing it as a chairperson of the. You said you're doing it in your personal capacity. So if you're doing it in your personal capacity, the NYDA shouldn't be paying for it.
Maybe it's a technicality maybe that I didn't see at that particular time, but the matter is concerning the work that I do as the chair of the NYDA. But the matter is still in court, and the issues are going to be ventilated when the time is right.
Yeah, I think for me it's quite clear that your affidavit is not correct, and that you've misled the courts because you've said it's in your personal capacity. But I will move on. Did the board approve this action as the board? Maybe I can ask the deputy chairperson. Have you approved this particular matter that the NYDA pays the legal firms for the chairperson in a personal capacity? Has this been discussed at a board level?
No, thanks. No, there's been no discussion of the chairperson's legal issues or whether or not the NYDA is funding it at all.
There's a word that comes to me. It's just how bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre. I mean, this is the governance of our youth. Minister, surely, what do you say to this, Minister? I'm asking you this question. What do you say to this, Minister?
Chairperson, thank you very much, Chairperson. I'm asked a specific question on a specific matter that probably has not come before me on who is paying for the legal fees, etc. And it's a matter that I will definitely want to look into going forward. However, indeed, the issues that are in the media are for the chairperson of the board. The issues that are in the media. They are not for Dr. Sunshine Miyende as a person from her home. everything that is even in the whistleblowing messages, they are about the chairperson of the board. What then the chairperson may have said in the statement that she presented to court, whether personal or whatever, then I think that might be the issue that we look into. I've not seen that.
Okay, but Minister, just to come back to you that this hasn't been discussed at a board level. I mean, surely that should concern you.
Definitely it will concern me. If decisions get taken, in fact, things are done without court resolution, board resolutions. Yes, indeed.
And that is the tragedy, because while factions fight, young people wait. While lawyers are discussed, young people wait. While whistleblowers are chased or protected depending on who is speaking, young people wait. While board members contradict each other in Parliament, young people wait. And these are not imaginary young people. These are unemployed graduates, disabled youth, rural youth, township youth, young entrepreneurs, people with ideas, people with pain, people who are told every day to be patient. So, let us be honest. The NYDA came to Parliament trying to explain governance, but what came out was something much uglier. A chairperson's Sunday Times case, where personal capacity and official responsibility became confused. A law firm process where CFO, legal and company secretary, could not give a clean answer. A financial misconduct trap that Parliament laid beautifully. A forensic RFQ that looked more focused on leakage than on the truth of whistleblower complaints. A deputy chair distancing himself from the whole thing. A R1 million New York trip being questioned while youth unemployment destroys families. And finally, a board so divided that Parliament openly warned them that everyone may go home. And the biggest question is this: where is President Ramaphosa in all of this? Because this board did not fall from the sky. These people were appointed into a youth agency that carries the hopes of millions of young South Africans. So if the agency collapses into lawyers, leaks, factions, trips and confusion, accountability cannot stop with the people sitting in that room. It must go up, because when leaders fail inside a youth agency, they are not just failing paperwork, they are failing a generation. That is why this one hurts, because when you misuse a youth agency, you are not stealing from a rich man. You are stealing from a graduate with no job. You are stealing from a disabled young person waiting for support. You are stealing from a rural child begging for one chance. You are stealing from a township hustler trying to survive. And that is why South Africans must not look away. Tell me in the comments, do you think this board can still be trusted? Should Ramaphosa act? Should Parliament recommend stronger action? And should every cent spent on lawyers, trips, and forensic investigations be placed on the table for the public to see? Because young people deserve answers, disabled youth deserve answers, and South Africa deserves better than this.